Hello everyone, it's time for another tip of the week. I got many questions regarding what color do I use, how I use them, etc. So I think I will spend this week and the next few tips talking about how I go approach to colors and how I use them in watercolor. Color can be very complicated, and the color theory can be very boring, but I will try my best. So what you see here, this chart, this is the this has 12 colors. All these are the colors that's in my palette as my main go-to colors. I've been using the exactly same group of colors in the past 10 or so years, and it works for me. It may not work for you, but you know, that's how I'm going to explain to you why I'm using this. This one is marked because I no longer use it, so you can ignore that. I put a name under the description of this video, so you can check out the names. The brand is not important, and I don't associated with any brand company, so I don't even need to mention it here. So that's pretty much about the 12 colors I use, mainly 2 yellows, 2 blues, 2 reds, and a few browns, and plus a black, and there's extra type of blues. My palette itself is exactly the same as this one. Let me show you. So here is my palette. You probably see in the other tip as well. I blocked these because those are occasional colors, and then I use them and take them out and keep them for a while and change them. So we don't need to really worry about it. So these are the 12 colors that I constantly use, mainly 2 yellows, 2 reds, and 2 blues, and 2 other extra blues, and a few browns, and plus a black. So that's how I use my colors. I like to keep the palette extremely simple, but my main approach is to mix the colors directly on the paper and utilizing the white paper plus the amount, under control amount of water with the pigment to achieve my desired colors to use in the painting. And so that's about the basics, and you can, again, you can look at the names in the description, and those describe all the color names I use here. Today I want to talk about grays. Gray, strictly speaking, is a color in watercolor can be directly found from a black. So here is a black. If you put it on paper or give any amount of water, you can see it instantly become variation of grays. So it can be very light to very dark. Okay, can add to that. But this is a colorless gray because it's pretty dull. There's still little warmth to this one, but if you paint a landscape or anything, if I paint from a reference photo, you try to match the gray from the photo to your paper, that can end up with this pretty dead, boring gray. What I usually do is I try to create colorful grays that's directly from primary and diluted and mixed with the complementary color and sometimes a little bit of black. So in that case, I can get a group of very colorful grays and achieve a very rich results instead of just using the grays that's from the black. So here is, I categorize them into two families. One is a cooler family. Of course, I would start from a cooler primary. Then I'll give a little bit of offset color. And now you see I have a match of warm gray. If you put it here, compared to this one, is a warm reddish gray. But I can also change it by adding a little bit more blue color. Now you see it changes to a cooler version of the gray. So compared to this one, to this one, to this one. And I can also change it to yellowish gray. Well, let's not use yellow ochre. Let's say I have this yellow. And if I wanted to have just a hint of yellow, but mainly gray, what I could do is I could go get a offset of primaries in there, mainly some red, some blue, and I'm losing a little bit of yellow. So here we go. So now you see this is a yellow, a gray that's towards yellow. You can change it to any direction you want. You can warm it up to be warmer brownish gray, or you can cool it to the middle to just add a hint of blue. Okay, so you see this is a very rich group of different levels of grays. They all have their color intention. There's either warmer towards yellow, towards red, towards purple. Use this to paint a scene like that with a lot of grays in there. It can be much more interesting if you just come out from the black. Of course, if you still think that this is a little bit too yellow, you can get a hint of black in there. And now you see the gray instantly gray down. That's what I said, you know, gray down was the black. That's how one of the big use in my palette, the black is used that way instead of straight as a black or gray. So I will use this one to paint a small snow scene so you can see how these colorful grays are used. So I'm going to paint the snow scene, use the same concept, and then, you know, turn a lot of boring grays into colorful grays. I will start with a little bit of warm color for the sky. And you see sky is pretty dull over there, but I'm going to add some color into it. And portion of that is going to be towards purple. And you see the concept of mixing these with primaries and offset of a little hint of complementary will make that into a very interesting, elegant colors. Okay, I'm going to pull some blues in there and make it changeable. And I would say the back trees are a little bit darker, and this in the photo it's pretty dark, but I'll skip that a little bit to create the snow painting. But I'm going to add that into as a bush. Okay, it's more of a purplish gray, so we'll add a little bit dirty color in there. I think I'll give a little hint of it was green bush or trees. Okay, and now winter comes, it turns into pretty gray, especially behind snow. Okay. All right, so that's how these grays are achieved. You can see it's pretty colorful already. So I'm going to give a little bit warm land for this part. Let's see, this part, and but leave white as the snow mainly. And the snow, on the snow, there's a lot of gray here and there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a pattern of this cool warm, and you see this, I wanted to change to be, this is a hillside, but this part are mainly not a paint too much. Okay, so I'll leave as much snow as I can and give a pure blue. And here underneath it, because we have a cool here, so I'm going to give a lot more warm color as exposed land. Okay. And you see here, here and there, it's, you already see it's a lot of grays, but these, none of these grays are the boring grays. It's all the ones that connect with a certain color. So I'm going to put a little bit of yellow in there. And the middle part, I'm going to mainly leave it as white for now. By the time I finish, I probably will do, well, let's do a little bit. It's a cooler shadow. Go this way and go that way. And on the paper, this blend itself, it will eventually look like snow. You see the gray color changes when I'm adding a little bit here and there. Okay. You see, this is probably a lot greener gray, and you can see here it turns into reddish purple gray, and here we have a more blue gray, and here's more blue, lighter blue, but still towards gray type, and here is a lot warmer. So I use these colorful grays to make a painting more like I call it more like a symphony. Okay, so the symphony, they have a different instrument, but they wanted to play together as a harmony, very harmonized music. Otherwise, it will be noise. So that's how all the grays are playing here. I'm going to finish this one up and put it at the end of the video clip, and you can see how this evolves. But mainly, it's halfway done on the painting. I just need to add the details and finish up. Okay, hope you can try some to make the elegant and colorful grays. Use your own color at home and let me know what do you think, and anything else you wanted to see. I'm going to put into future clips. Thanks for watching.